Hello, it is summer and I'm wearing a coat. I'll talk a bit more about this in a second, but first I want to talk about this because this is finished. So it's had its wet finish and it is done. So here's how it looks, the length of it. It's come out really well. I'm pleased with it, though there was unexpected shrinkage that I didn't expect, obviously. That's why it was unexpected shrinkage. Really must think of a whole sentence before I start speaking. Anyway, so you might be able to see that there's a little bit of a diamond pattern happening. I don't know if it's that visible on camera. Slow down. I've had a lot of coffees today. But you can see maybe that there's sort of gappy areas and then tighter areas where the shrinkage has happened, which has pulled the threads in almost a diamond pattern. It's more obvious sort of in person, I think. I don't know that it's showing up on camera very well. But the other thing that happened is that the sock yarn did a lot more shrinking than I expected it to. And what that means is it's become solid bars of colour. So you can't see the weft pretty much in most of these. You can in a couple of them, especially where I've made a mistake with the weaving. But it's become these solid bars of colour broken up with a solid bar of colour. So I didn't expect that to happen, but I really like it, and I'm going to pretend it was on purpose. I'm going to pretend I did that on purpose for the effect. So it's a little bit, it's almost a little bit felted. I didn't do a hot wash, I did a slightly warm wash just to get, when I say slightly warm, I mean tepid. So I don't know if it was the agitation, I don't know if I was just a bit unkind to the sock yarn. I'm not mad about it. And now that I know that it does this, there's a thread on there, there's always a thread on my stuff. Now that I know that it does this, I've changed my plan for what I'm going to do with the rest of this, because I want to take advantage of that effect and see if I can get it to do that again. But the main takeaway point of this is that this is done. It's finished. I'm holding it up badly, but it is done. I'm really, really pleased with it. I love how it looks like, almost like a brick wall, in the sense that it doesn't really. But you know what I mean, right? Maybe. Let me know in the comments if you know what I mean, because it would be nice if someone did. So that's finished. We don't have to look at that ever again. That's going to market. I've applied for a market in March. The last two markets I applied for I couldn't end up doing because of reasons. The date changed on one of them and I was working, and then the second one I was going to have a stall with a friend and she got COVID, but she'd booked a double stall, and I have like a clothes rack and a little table, and I thought that might be a bit of overkill for my clothes rack and table to have a 6 metre stall frontage. So we'll see if I actually get to go to market in March. Putting that in the bag, and then we're going to talk about, shaking the tripod, my coat. So I've made one of these before. I've got some footage. I'm going to assume that I found the footage and I've put it in here. So this I made last year out of one of my aunt's blankets, and it's fantastic. It's the Sasha Starlight blanket coat pattern, and I've been meaning to make another one for a while, and I made this one, and that's the end of that story. Thanks for what. No, okay, I'll talk some more. It's okay. So this is a blanket that I got at the op shop for, I think, $3, and then I threw it in an orange dye bath because I happen to have orange dye. That's quite fancy. Happened to have orange dye in the house, and this was originally white. I don't do well with white because I end up with stuff on me. And the other thing about this is that it's the small size, because my blanket was not as wide as I thought it was. So I talked last time about how, don't worry, I've got footage of me standing around awkwardly in a garden in this as well. I'll show you that now while I talk. So the thing that I love about this pattern, and I did say this last time, but you might have missed it, is that it is adaptable to pretty much any blanket that you have. It just needs to be a minimum size. So for the small size, it needs to be a minimum of 50 inches wide at the shorter side. And for the large size, I think it has to be 60 inches wide. But this one I thought was 60 inches, it wasn't, it was 50. So I've made the small size, which does fit. It's not quite as oversized as the large size is, obviously. That's how sizes work. So it's a little bit tight across the shoulders, but that's fine. And what I wanted to do was make a lighter weight blanket, because the one that I made out of a lighter weight coat, there we go. The one that I made out of the wool blanket is gorgeous and I love it. And I wore it to Finders Keepers last year, which is a Melbourne handmade and design market. And it's also in Sydney. Irrelevant. I got a heap of compliments on it. People were saying, oh, you could sell those for $300 or $400. And I was going, well, it's not my pattern, but, you know, thanks. So I wanted a lighter weight one because that one is heavy. And it's great in the very, very cold days. But if it's not that cold, then it's a little bit too much. So this is a lighter weight one. This is fine. I don't actually love it. I like it, it's fine. I'm not in love with it. What I want to do is make another one in the larger size. I have other blankets, so one of them will be sacrificed to my coat dreams. But as I started saying, and I don't think I finished saying, the beauty of the pattern is that you can incorporate anything in the blanket that you want to keep as a feature of the coat. So for example, I've kept the fringing on the blanket as the collar line and down to the end of the points here. And I had the option, of course, to cut that off and do a hem on the collar instead, but I thought, no, we've got fringes. I did have the option to do that on the sleeves, but I thought it might get annoying, so I didn't. But yes, I will make another one of these in the larger size again, because it's just slightly more comfortable for me, although the small does fit. So, but that's my new coat. I don't, you know, I like it. I really do like it. I don't love it. And that's okay. It's going to be great for those cooler evenings. It's got very big pockets. That's not how you show pockets. How am I showing my pockets? There we go. It's got very big pockets, which is lovely. And I like it, but I don't love it. So I'm going to make another one that I will love as well as like. But this is going to be good for those, you know, cooler summer evenings. Presumably I'll be out at a cocktail party. I don't know. I've never been to a cocktail party, and I probably shouldn't start now. I'm going to stop because I stopped making sense about 4 or 5 minutes ago. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but let's assume I didn't make any sense for 5 minutes of it. You take care of yourself. Thank you so much for watching. There's no progress on the little loom, before you ask. I am going to get onto that tonight and get a bit more work done on that, because I've cleared the weaving table for the sewing machine and all of that. So the little loom looks the same as it did when I first showed it to you a couple of weeks ago. Hello, Chuffs. Where are you? There's Chuffs. I love Chuffs. Irrelevant. You take care of yourself. I will see you next time, and bye for now.